Okay, howdy everybody. Hope you had a great 3-day weekend, rest and relaxation. And here we are. It's going to be kind of tough because next Monday, well, we got 5 days. So after two consecutive 4-day weeks, we got a 5-day week coming up. So, anyways, here we are. We'll make sure we have fun. So let's go ahead and press Create New. And I will go ahead and ask that you create, well, let's just do 1,000 by 1,000 or 2,000 by whatever. Anyways, 1,500 by 1,500, 1,000 by 1,000. Just make sure it's in pixels. 72. Background is white, and let's go ahead and press create. This is what we have. All right, introducing the gradient tool. Now the gradient tool is right about here. It's the same as the paint bucket. Okay, so it's pretty much smack the middle of the toolbar. And when you click on the gradient tool, you'll notice on the very top you've got this scenario right here. So why don't you go ahead and create a new layer, okay, and drag across. There's a gradient, okay. So undo, you can go ahead and click on history and undo and drag across again. Look at that. And what you do is every time you drag, you get a different kind of effect. All right, so let's just kind of see what kind of effect we can come up with. If you move up here and by the way, here's these little icons right here. So click on the second icon. What you just saw, we demoed. Let me see if I can move up a little bit. What I demoed was this guy right here, this icon. This is, if I move the cursor over, this is the linear. Now let's try radial. So go ahead and click on that and just click right in the middle, as you can see. Okay, by the way, my colors are blue and black right here, so kind of looks like a star from Mars. Then let's go ahead and click on this guy right here, which is the angular, I believe. Yep, angle, and try it, see what happens. And never really used this one, never really quite understood why anybody use it. Maybe someone in product design, creating a box or packaging, whatever the case may be. The next one is more, I guess that's a brand new one, reflected gradient. Let's see what that looks like. Kind of looks like a Star Wars lightsaber. Again, have never really used this one, and this one I believe is a strail. Let's see. Oh no, diamond. Okay, well, let's see what that looks like. Like a diamond. Okay, cool. Supposedly. All right. So, anyways, that's what it looks like. So let's go back to the linear, the very first one, and kind of make sure it looks good. Okay. All right. So how do we control the colors? This is black and blue, obviously. And basically, if you click on the drop-down menu, you'll see you've got a folder structure here. And let me go ahead and expand this a little bit. Here's our socket. You can add new gradient and things like that. You can put small thumbnails or you can put large thumbnails. Let's go ahead and click on this, the first one. It's called Basics, and you'll see right here that you've got different colors. Now let's click on blues. Click on one of these guys and notice the top part here changes. Alright, then if I was to play with this, okay, a little bit better. Okay, click on this again and choose something else. Okay, and go ahead and try the pinks. As you can see, all this little cool little thing. Now let's go ahead and do this. History, go way back to the beginning. Click on the very first part. Okay, and now you should have a white canvas again. And if you were to select, like, say, the elliptical marquee tool, okay, there it is right there. I selected the elliptical marquee tool. And if I was to kind of create a circle, then I go back to gradient and I click inside the circle. Notice it'll stay inside the circle. Okay, and there you have it. And of course, being inside of layers, and let's see if we can put an FX there. No, I guess not. The best thing to do is always have a new layer. So I didn't do that. So click on new layer. Now go ahead and add that gradient. And now you can add a nice little outer glow. So let's go to outer glow. There it is right there. You got the dialog box here. Let's go ahead. And by the way, watch this. Okay, you can actually, well, click on As long as you have, you can go into here and select any color here. You'll notice that it's got the eyedropper tool and it'll change the color here, and you can apply it here and spread and size. Don't see much happening, but then we have to put it in normal mode. There, see, check it out. So, kind of creating your own little star there. Okay, there you have it. Press OK. Alright, so that's pretty much how we have it. Okay, so again, there's a lot of them here. You got pinks, orange, pastels. Okay, so lots you can work with. Alright, and then there's neutral. So anyways, the color theory, if you were to work with Miss Perdomo or Mr. O'Brien, you can learn a lot about the different colors and things like that. So if I was to go to orange, okay, that looks more like the sun. All right, let's go ahead and keep this still. My question is, now you notice that the top part here, okay, the colors here are different than the colors over here. So let's go ahead and click on something pretty cool. And by the way, this socket over here, let's kind of examine this a little bit. Again, if you just want text only and no icon, well, that would be kind of hard, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to have at least, well, let's see what a small list looks like. Well, that looks pretty good right there. I kind of prefer the longer list so I can see very cool how it looks like. Doesn't matter how far it drops as long as there's a scroll bar. Or you can use large thumbnails. Okay, so you can just kind of, well, let's just keep it that way. That looks really great. Helps me kind of look. Alright, and you can import gradients, I guess, append gradients, but what I'm going to show you how to do is create new ones. Okay, so let's go ahead and do exactly that. So what I'm going to do is ask you to click on the bar right here. Just click anywhere here. Double click, and you'll get this nice little dialog box which you can expand. And you'll notice that you've got all these, the same kind of folders that we saw beforehand. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a new one. Okay, so a new color. Now let me show you something. We're going to create patriotic red, white, and blue. So let's going to call this patriotic. Excuse me. This we'll go ahead and call this. We'll keep it as solid. Okay, so now if you notice in front of you, you've got a nice, the same kind of coloration that you see to create this little sun that we created. Okay, so I'm going to show you some things. Now, you notice that you've got several little anchor points here. Notice it says yellow, and this one is kind of a red. Well, these bottom anchors here control the color. Okay, so notice if I also move it a little bit, notice how it kind of gives me more of an yellow, okay? And if I move this part right here, it gives me more of the opposite color. Okay, and then you usually have a little handlebar here that kind of dictates how it is in the middle. And of course, if I have that scenario, press OK, and you'll notice that kind of changes everything here. Okay, so kind of hard to see the difference, but at any rate, so I'm going to double click on that again, and I think I lost my name, Patriot. Well, let's just name it later. So what if I want to change to red, white, and blue? Okay, well, let's start with red. We'll click on this guy here, and here's a color picker. Let's pick red. There it is right there. Okay, now we're going to choose blue. Let's go ahead and on the far right. Okay, and notice there's a color picker here, and choose the blue. Alright, Mr. Haig, what about the white? Well, that's when you just kind of click in the middle here. Just click. Boom, another anchor point appears. Double click there. Click white. There you have it. Now, what about the anchors on over here? And I notice, well, before I go there, notice how the anchors, you can shift the, like if you click here, another anchor appears to kind of control how it transitions from one color to another. There we have it. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Now the top part right here is the opacity. Okay, so that really doesn't put into play right now. So we're going to leave that alone. Okay, so we'll leave it the way it is. Let's call this patriotic. Okay, and press new. And you'll notice that it'll appear here. And let's see if we can, oh, it doesn't tell me really where I can create a new, well, let's just press OK. And notice that it appears over here. And on the drop down menu, okay, let's just kind of play with it here. And we can drag it to anywhere we want, but we can also here create a new gradient preset. Click that and let's see, nope, we just did that actually. It doesn't tell me how to create a new folder though. We'll have to figure that out. So, okay. Well, we'll have to figure it out. So, uh, let's press OK. Let's just go ahead and work this one here. I thought there was a folder here. Okay, I figured it out. So basically, you have to go back to, you double click on this. Well, sorry, you double click here, right click, and now you can click on New Gradient Group. Okay, so click on New Gradient Group and put your last name there. Okay, because this is the stuff that you're going to create. And press OK. There it is. And let's drag this in here. There it is. So now you've got your patriotic little preset there. And that's that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to history, click on the very first one here. Alright, and this time I'm just going to go ahead and use a rectangle. Perfect rectangle. And click on gradient again. There it is. And then this time I'm just going to go across. There we have it. And if I was to put in a circle, okay, I can put a circle right here. And once again, I made the mistake. Let me go ahead and do that again. I'm going to start again, and this time I'm going to create, and there we have it. And I'm going to always create a new layer. Alright, then select gradient. There it is right there. Put in another layer. This time I'm going to put in a circle. Okay. I'm going to choose that same gradient. This time I'm going to choose the radial gradient, and let's see what that does. Okay. Crazy. Okay, so there you have it. And if you want, you can choose a different one. You can go to red or purples and things like that. There you have it. So, at any rate, you can always go back to rectangle. There's my patriotic one. Oh, I gotta go back to the linear. So there we have it. Alright, that's basically how you control it. Now, one more thing we're going to do before I do, let's go here. I do have my model waiting for me, so if you wouldn't mind, let's see, there's my model right there. I'm going to right click, copy image. And basically what I did was I googled white t-shirt again, just like last time. So file, new. Okay, there's a clipboard. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste. And then I'm going to go ahead and again use the magnetic tool to kind of circle around this guy. I think we came to the conclusion that the magnetic tool was the best one to use for this scenario. Okay. It's very simple. Not doing very much work. Be easier if I can use a selection tool, but that's okay. So we got this going right now. And again, we're going to create a new layer. Okay, so we're going to port in this layer. And now we're going to take the gradient tool. We got some patriotic shirts. Let's go ahead and do this. There it is. Kind of give it a little tie-dye experience. Alright, that looks pretty cool. I would wear that for sure. Alright, when you get to this point, turn the work in. Okay, and that's it. Have fun.